G'day, it's Eagle Scream, aka Redfire Keep. We are 20,000 blocks east of Towerland in the town of Earlton, and we're going to be headed east. And going along the King's Golden Highway, we'll be checking out the Earlton Highway to the north later on. But for now, we're going to check out this highway, and we're just going to cut over here to the small town of Bayside, along Lake Bayside. Now, this town's history is a little bit different from most. It wasn't created by Towerland, it was actually created by Earlton. And the point of this town was to provide a link via ship, which again, you only have the small docks here, to Revelpots, which is in the east, um, to the east of the Cortez jungle. Because, again, the lore of my world is that they built to the jungle. The indigenous groups took exception to Yellite citizens and troops there, and so over time they attacked them. The Yellite nation, as a result stopped building, and but you already had settlers head out to the east, and so they were essentially cut off. And so Earlton, in order to provide trade, especially since trade was cut off by raiders in the west, built this town along Lake Bayside so that they would have access to revel pots and hopefully encourage trade. So that's the story of this town. Now, this town was supposed to invest in a shipbuilding area so that they could produce big ships and ship it to the east. But they chose to spend their money on other things, and Earlton wasn't too happy with this. Hence, Earlton built a canal basically right up to their walls, and they plan on building docks and their own shipbuilding center in time. So that's the Lower Bayside. Town to the south is a independent town which has yet to join the Yellite Nation, although they're thinking about it. And to the north, that's Earl's Sun, but that's along the Earlton Highway, which we'll be looking at later. So let's just continue our tour to Farside. Or was it Farview? Yeah, Farview. Never mind. As long as I know the name of the places I'm checking out. I have over 100 towns, so we get here, and along the King's Golden Highway, and again, we can head to Farview or we can head to Cortez. You can also get to Cortez from Farview, so we're going to head into Farview, which is a great place to sort of spend the night. You have sort of the customs house, which has maps of the area, both a local map showing you how to get to Cortez, which is not really anything because indigenous groups have attacked the Yellite Nation for invading their jungle, and which is their homeland. And again, you can sort of see where we are here. This is where we started off in Earlton. This is Bayside. This is Farview, and this is Cortez, and this is Revelpots, which again take a river, and you can get to Bayside, and also you can also get via Pearson, and then from there you can take a boat, or you can take the highway to Earlton here. Okay, but anyways, we'll be checking out some of that later. Now, Farview has an interesting lore because it's a town divided into 2 points. You have Farview North, and you have where we are now, which is Farview South. And we'll explain why that came about. And so Yellite came to Farview and said, hey, we would love to, just checking out the local hostel here. we'd love to add you to our nation. We can build city walls for you. The residents of Farview said, hey, yeah, that would be amazing. And so they started building city walls in the south first. And then the goal was, and again, this is the extension where the town, you keep going to the jungle to reach Cortez, but and so they started building in the south, and the goal was to build around the whole town. But while they were doing this, they also wanted to build a road system further to the north. And at first they said, sure. And the Elite Nation said, here, we'll give you resources, we'll give you horses, we'll give you cartographers, and we just need you to go scouting to the north. And they were like, sure, go find us another village, civilization, etc. And so they started spreading out to the northwest, the north central, and the northeast. And if you're wondering what that highway is, that's the Earlton Highway. We'll be talking about that later. And so as they were exploring, they kept going further and further north. And eventually they noticed, hey, there's a big tower in the distance. We should check that out. And so they came here and said hello. And they were attacked. And because that's a pillager's outpost. I didn't put it there, by the way. It was just there. There's another one further to the northeast, but I digress. And so they fled. And just so you know where it is, they fled back to Farview, and the pillagers followed them, invaded the town, killed a lot of troops, kidnapped a lot of troops, and basically caused all sorts of havoc. And so, of course, Yellite was sort of sitting there going, okay, have you explored the area? And Farview's like, yes, this is what happened. We were attacked. A number of houses were burned in and around this area. A number of citizens were kidnapped. A number of citizens were killed. And Yellite was like, not a problem, we'll send troops. And that's where you had sort of a split between the town's residents. The ones in the south who already had walls somewhat set up were like, yeah, that'd be great. The ones in the north where you didn't really have walls at all were like, no, we don't want anything to do with your nation. And so, long story short, the residents in the north were like, we're going to no longer be part of the Elite Nation. The ones in the south were like, hey, no, we still want protection from this power. And so eventually the Elite government was like, okay, do you want us to build walls in the center of the town? Since the northern residents don't want that, the southern residents said yes. Hence now you have a split town, and that's sort of the lore of this village. So anyways, I like my lore. If you don't, sorry, but I kind of like that. I think this guy needs some help. Doing a little dance for me, or maybe he's just telling me nah, he doesn't like my lore. But anyways, so this shows you Farview, and again, we came from Earlton. There is a entrance to a lake here, and of course, that, of course, is Bayside Lake. And, of course, Cortez is over here. And, again, we can check out all of this here. So, you have Earlton, these two green points here. Bayside, which we've already checked out here. Farview here. Cortez here. Revelpots here. And, again, in order to get to Revelpots, the goal was to cut across the jungle. That's no longer possible. And so you either can take a boat from Bayside, or you can take the highway to Pearson, which is up here, and then from there you can take the Earlton Highway, or a boat to the west along the Sprite Ocean. So, anyhow, I hope you like the village. I hope you like the lore. We're going to be checking out Cortez next vid, and then from there, we're going to, in future vids, be checking out the Earlton Highway. and how it cuts to the north and then cuts back to the south and then continue along the Golden Highway. But anyways, thanks for checking out my video. If you've made it this far, if you could please like it, assuming you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click the bell for the notifications of when I post a new video, which is every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And thanks for checking out my vid. I hope you check out the next one. Later.